It's February 27th, Monday, 2012. And I heard a little quote from Deepak Chopra yesterday, and he was talking about, he made a statement about existentialism, which is basically existenceism. You know, do we exist? And existentialism might also be the study of whether the study of existence. And before I heard this, I was also reading a Wikipedia entry on epistemology, which is the study of knowledge. And in the exposition, it talks about, there's this quote. It says, epistemologists argue over whether belief is the proper truth bearer. Some would rather describe knowledge as a system of justified true propositions, and others as a system of justified true sentences. But belief is the most commonly invoked truth bearer since Plato's day. And this is in a group of articles that I pulled up from Wikipedia that include identity and personal identity, and do things have their own independent existence in and of themselves, their personal identity. And the idea for me is that whatever we personally identify with ends up being our truth bearer. The deeper truths of our experience arise through some vehicle that we personally identify with, depending upon the depth level in which we identify with it. And I think of the concern of being too self-important, selfless and selfish and selflessness. I'm reminded of a saying that I read somewhere: it's good to be nice, it's not nice to be too good. So somewhere in the middle is the basic concept of the truth. Somewhere in between complete selfishness and complete selflessness. But what concerns me here today is that I woke up thinking of the idea of existentialism. And Deepak Chopra said that when existentialistic ideas, concerns, who am I? Do I exist? What is important to me? All these things have to do with existence. Our own personal identity with existence as well. What do we identify with personally that is in existence? But he made an interesting statement that the main way to deal with existential concerns is through spiritual practices. And I thought about that, and I realized that in my experience that rings true, in that I have multiple and various perspectives that arise spontaneously. And when I was younger, it was just for fun, but as I grew older, I realized some people were deeply threatened by some of my perspectives, and they would lash out violently. sometimes in a very vulgar and perverse way. And I was trying to understand in a self-responsible fashion, how is it that I brought this about? What was the role that I played in this occurrence, this experience that I'm having? And I realized that I was basically without blame, because my intention was not to evoke a violent response. However, I learned that violent responses, typically of a vulgar and perverse type, I didn't like, because they cause pain. And or discomfort, when they were projected on me, and just, where's my role in this? What role do I play? And as I've been doing my studying, I realized that I've come to this term that, this perspective that oftentimes we invent our own rendition of reality in order to bolster our sense of existence, to make us feel that we have existence. This is, I think it could be commonly seen as, in a society we become selfless because we have a role to play in society, and the concerns of society are not always in tune with our personal experience and what we want. And so we invent our own rendition of society and civilization so that we feel as though it is bolstering our sense of self, to make ourselves feel more important, like we really have a role to play that is unique to us and individual to our personal identity. But it came clear to me this morning as I was waking up that, this is what I wrote in my dream journal I keep next to my bed. Existential concerns or spiritual concerns. Concerns of existence are primarily addressed through spiritual practices. Here lies many of the root causes of the world's woes. When we seek to resolve our concerns of existence, we tell ourselves a metaphysical rendition of reality that enables us to resolve our problems with existence. But all this does is to create a religious doctrine of values that excuses our concerns in reality for a reevaluated set of values that excuses us of any concerns that inform us of real facts and figures about existence. So, when reality comes hitting us in the face, we can invent our own rendition of values as to why these things occurred.